Edmonton's Best Rock, 100.3 The Bear, Jess Jackson, and very special guests in studio with us today. I am joined by Jordin Tootoo and Edmonton's own Adam Scorgie. I'm allowed to say Edmonton's own, right?
Yes, absolutely. Claim that.
Very exciting event we have happening in Edmonton Friday, October 11th. This is the premiere for all of Canada, right? For Tootoo, the Jordin Tootoo story, and we're doing this at Rogers Place, so very special event to have here in Edmonton.
Very, very special. We're thankful the Boucher Group and Oilers Entertainment stepped up to do this. So, yeah, tonight, October 11th in Fort Hall, right there. It's going to be on the big whale tail up there. So there's still a few tickets left, not a lot. So I would go to rogersplace.com and get some if you're interested in coming tonight with Jordin himself in attendance.
Very, very cool. So let's just start with the film itself, Jordin. To anyone that maybe knows your story, has read your books, this is, really showing people who you are. But maybe for people that aren't familiar, is this basically just your life, right?
Yeah, for me personally, it's the process has been unbelievable for my family, and I give a lot of credit to my family for finding the courage to speak truth, and I think at the end of the day, it's just not about me. I'm very humbled and privileged to have a family that's willing to be put out there and to be an example. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that have lived very similar lives and childhood experiences that I've experienced, and it's really brought us closer together, to be honest. And yes, there's a lot of tense moments and whatnot, but at the end of the day, when you have conversations that you've never had before growing up, it's really showed us that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and like I said, I'm truly grateful that my family really stepped up and was willing to put themselves out there.
I know you often say that, these are things that weren't talked about. So have you really noticed a difference? I mean, you're saying yourself that these conversations are happening for this movie, but do you think that pushing and talking about this more, have you seen a change?
Absolutely, yes. Like I said, the older generation seems to like to be hush-hush about a lot of things, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate, with, like my parents. We never ever had those conversations at the dinner table or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's been a process that's been helping us heal as a family, and to really open our eyes. Sometimes when you grow up in a remote community, you kind of have horse blinders on and you don't realize how much more is out there. And when everyone knows everyone, a lot of people tend to want to hold things back, and a lot of people up north view the Tootoo family as the perfect family, when in fact we've probably lived very similar lives to our neighbors, or our neighbors can really relate. And this process was not about exposing my family. It's more to help us heal through a lot of trauma.
Yeah. I'm assuming that a good portion of the film is back home, right? So how was that for you? I'm assuming that's the first time you've been up there, Adam?
That's by far the furthest north I've ever been. And,
yeah.
That was a life-changing experience, and it was something that Jordin said very early on, that he said, the only way I'll let you guys tell my stories if you come and experience how I lived. But as filmmakers, we're like, well, we want to go on that adventure. That's amazing. But then when we got up there, we're weak city folk. It was kind of like, I know our director, Ham, he was like, I don't know how I'm going to go on the land for 3 days. But we went with the Tootoo family out for the fishing derby, out on the land for 3 days, slept on tents in the snow, came back for the beluga hunt, went for the Terrence Tootoo Memorial. Like, we wanted to experience it all. And I have... I can see the romance and love for the northern community, because when you come up there, because it's a hard living, everyone really embraces and supports each other. And it was really cool. By the second and third time we came up there, we felt like, you know, they were like, oh, it's a documentary, guys.
Yeah.
It was like, we're part of the community. I can see why a lot of people, when they leave Rankin or the North, come and say, I have such fond memories of growing up there, because although it's hard and the winters and climates are hard, the way that they're together as a community is special. It's lost in big cities.
So that's kind of, you know, what a lot of people will be seeing for the first time. That's really, really special to share. Can you talk maybe about the process of, like you said, a couple trips up there? Like how long this would have, with filming and everything, how long you guys spent, you know, traveling back and forth, I guess?
We've been working on this for over 2 years. COVID made it tough at first, too. Like, we couldn't even get up there to the first one till the fishing derby. And then we had to wait because the Terrence Tootoo Memorial Tournament had been canceled a couple of years because of that. So then and that was a commitment and promise we made to Jordin. He's like, you have to come and experience it all. So we came, and I mean, going to the Memorial Tournament was amazing too. As you see the whole communities in the arena watching, and it's good hockey. Our director Hammy, he even got out there and they won the first year.
Oh, no way!
And yeah, and Hammy was like, he was joking at first, like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it. But then when he saw how good the hockey was, like, Adam, I'm gonna die out here. He's like, I only played in Pee Wee, like, I'm gonna get killed. No, it's been a long journey, but for me, it's been, I think me and our team are better people for going on this. Like, Jordin and his family were so it took a while to you know, get to know them, build their trust, but the way they've opened up, I can't get through the film without crying. I'll be hiding in the back for those of you that are coming, like, just because I see his family, I love his family, and I love Jordin. So it gets very emotional for me. And then it's kind of like my child. It's like 2.5 years working on this intimately close with Jordin. So when you see it and you see people have an emotional reaction, it's I become a big baby as I get older, to be honest.
I heard you mention a couple times, right, that it is a very emotional film, and as to be expected. So talking and sharing your story like this, like I know you do a ton, is it still very emotional for you, or has it just become more of your healing process?
Well, I think my healing process has really helped shape me into who I am today. And, you know, there's still a lot of work to be done for me personally. You know, but like I said, this whole process has allowed us to really have those intimate conversations at home that we never really had before. And me being in the public eye for the last 25 years, you know, every time I'd go home, we just never really had quality time together because, you know, our home, my parents' home is it's an open door policy there. So we'd have a lot of visitors every time I'd come home, and not a lot of quality time amongst each other. And through this process, it's really helped us be okay with, you know, just talking about life at home at the dinner table, or, you know, when community members come over, sharing experiences. You know, it took a lot of years for me to open up and be comfortable in talking about my experiences, because, you know, a lot of us who grow up in remote communities, we tend to put this shield, especially men, you know. When I do my public speaking events, I try and speak to a lot of men, you know, to allow them to let their pride and egos down, you know. Took a lot of years for me to be okay with not being okay, you know, with my role in hockey being the tough guy and whatnot. You know, I grew up thinking that men don't cry, men don't show emotion, men don't surrender, you know, and when I kind of put my hands up in the air and said, you know what, it's okay to speak the truth, and it shows our people that, hey, if Jordin can do it, it's okay, you know, at the end of the day. So it's what a wonderful journey it's been, and I'm looking forward to better days ahead with my family.
It's amazing. Maybe a question for you both. What are you hoping that a lot of people will get from watching this documentary?
I think it's gonna. I honestly was telling Jordin on the drive here. I think it's gonna help a ton of people, because it has, although it's very raw and it's got some very emotional moments, it's very positive. Jordin's doing great now. 3 beautiful girls, lovely wife. Like, to share his healing process and to show that it's okay, and then it's okay to ask for help. You can be a strong, proud man, and it's okay to ask for help. We have another great guy, former teammate, Brian McGrattan, you know, one of the toughest guys in the league, says the same thing. He's like, hey, we're the tough guy. We're not supposed to do that, but we need help too. I'm getting emotional now even talking about this. I really think when people get this, they're going to be inspired, and it's going to help a lot of people. They're going to realize, oh my God, I have similarities. My family went through that. This is okay. And especially now, Jordin being in such a good place to show, like, it's not a doom and gloom. It's not that it's positive at the end, because Jordin's doing so well now. And I think that's important for a lot of my films. I've only ever done one, which I call a crash and burn, where the ending isn't positive. Like, this is such a positive ending that I really am excited to see how it can help a lot of people out there. I think it's going to, just like Jordin's book did, inspired a lot of people to be better. I think the movie's going to do the same thing.
Good. Great. Do we know where we will be able to watch this after the premiere? Or?
Yeah, so this is the first premiere, and then we're going to do some more. We're going to obviously do Nashville, hopefully Manitoba. We want to do something very big in the north, bring the first red carpet premiere up there, and then, but then it will be on Super Channel in Canada, which you can get through Amazon. It'll be available nationwide, and then after that, in the States, we're still seeing where it's going to land, but it'll probably land with one of the big distributors down there. So in the spring, summer, it'll be available worldwide.
Okay. One more question before we wrap up. Do you still play quite a bit?
I play once a week.
Yeah?
We reside in Kelowna full time now,
Nice.
so there's a lot of ex-players that tend to flock towards the Okanagan Valley to retire. So every Thursday night, bunch of us ex-pros get together, some old boys who've been around for many years in the league, and you know, that's my evening out, I guess, you know, to get with the boys. And I think for a lot of retired guys, you miss the dressing room the most, and sharing stories and just being a little kid again. You know, you feel like you're back in the dressing room. So it's once a week for me is plenty. As Scorgie said, I have 3 daughters that are pretty active, so I'm very grateful and humbled to have such a loving family, and my 3 daughters. It's fun to watch them grow up.
Great. All right. Well, Tootoo, the Jordin Tootoo story, Courage, Strength, and Hope premieres tonight at Rogers Place. Adam Scorgie, Jordin Tootoo, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for telling the story, and look forward to seeing it.